Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting topics for coin collectors and treasure hunters, the most valuable wheat pennies ever made so special. How much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. So let's get started. First up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, is one of the most recognizable coins in American history, and carries a story that connects directly to the World War II. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark on pennies at that time. Your coin, in fine condition with some scratches and a natural color shade from aging, is not only a piece of copper, it's a small part of a much larger American story of strength, change, and renewal. Because your coin is in fine condition, the overall detail remains visible but shows moderate wear from years of circulation. The scratches and color shade add character to the piece, reflecting its long history in everyday transactions. The coin's tone may have shifted from bright red when first minted to a warm brown or reddish-brown shade, a natural patina that collectors often appreciate, because it gives the coin a more authentic vintage appearance. Turning to the reverse side, you can see the well-known wheat ears design, which gives the Lincoln cent its popular nickname, Wheat Penny. Two stylized stalks of wheat curve gracefully along both sides of the coin, surrounding the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. The Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one appears at the top. The wheat ears on your coin are slightly worn down, but their outlines are still distinct, and the lettering remains clear. This reverse design, simple yet symbolic, represents American prosperity and growth during an era when the nation was rebuilding after years of global conflict. The year 1944 was an important one in U.S. coinage history. Just a year earlier, in 1943, the U.S. Mint had temporarily switched from copper to zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for wartime production. Those 1943 steel cents are famous today for their silvery look and tendency to rust. In 1944, the Mint returned to the traditional copper alloy, but with a twist. Much of the copper used to make 1944 pennies came from recycled shell casings that were collected after the war. This gave these coins a patriotic connection, as they were literally made from materials that once served in the nation's defense. That makes every 1944 Lincoln cent a piece of living history, a symbol of victory, resilience, and the return of peace. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 1.4 billion of these coins in 1944, making it one of the largest mintage totals in the entire Lincoln Wheat Penny series. Because of this high number, the 1944 penny is not rare, but it remains one of the most historically meaningful coins to collectors. Millions of these cents circulated across the country during and after World War II, and they became a familiar sight in the hands of soldiers, factory workers, and families adjusting to post-war life. When it comes to the value of your coin in today's market, condition is the most important factor. A good condition example might bring around 5 to 10 cents, while coins in fine condition, like yours, are typically worth between 15 and 25 cents. In very fine condition, values increase to about 30 to 35 cents, and in extra fine condition, the coin might sell for around 40 to 75 cents. If a coin is in uncirculated condition with bright red color and minimal marks, collectors may pay anywhere from $1 to $5 or more, depending on its eye appeal. Your coin's fine condition, combined with its natural brown or red-brown color shade, gives it a modest but appealing collector value. The small scratches from circulation are normal for a coin that's been around for over 80 years. These marks tell part of its story. A story that began during a time of global change and continues to this day in collections like yours. The 1944 wheat penny is often considered a coin of transition and hope. It marks the end of the wartime steel cents and the return of the familiar copper composition that Americans were used to. Every 1944 penny that survives today reminds us of that turning point, when the world was healing and rebuilding, and when simple things like coins symbolized stability and normalcy once again. Your 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in fine condition with some scratches and a natural color shade, is valued at around 15 to 25 cents in today's market. While its monetary value is modest, its emotional and historical worth is far greater. It connects you directly to a time when the nation stood united, when resources were scarce but hope was strong, and when even a small copper penny played its part in the story of America. Next up, the 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark is a fascinating coin from the post-World War II era, carrying with it both history and charm. This coin was minted at the San Francisco Mint, which is represented by the small letter S, located just below the date on the obverse side. Your coin, in good condition with some scratches, may show signs of wear from decades of circulation, but it still holds significant collectible and historical value for anyone who appreciates classic American coinage. The reverse side of the coin features the classic wheat ears design, a style that collectors have long admired. Two curved stalks of wheat rise on either side, framing the bold inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. At the top of the coin is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. On your coin, which is in good condition, the design details are worn but still visible, and the main lettering stands out clearly. The wheat stalks may have lost some of their fine lines due to circulation, but their shape remains distinct, reflecting the durable craftsmanship of mid-20th century coin production. The 1952 S. Lincoln wheat penny was struck during a time of stability and growth in America. The war years had passed, the economy was booming, and the country was entering a new age of prosperity. The San Francisco Mint produced 137 800,004 coins that year, which means this penny is not considered rare. However, it is still highly collectible, especially for those assembling complete Lincoln cent sets that include all mints and dates. Each coin from this period tells part of the story of an America that was changing rapidly. From industrial expansion to the rise of modern suburban life, your coin, made of the standard copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, has likely developed a warm brown color tone from age. This natural patina is common and actually adds to its vintage appearance. The scratches on your coin are expected for one in good condition, but they do not take away from its collectible charm. Instead, they serve as a reminder that this coin was part of real American history, used by countless people in daily life, perhaps to buy a loaf of bread, a newspaper, or a cup of coffee in the 1950s. When it comes to the value of your 1952 S. Lincoln wheat penny in today's coin market, condition plays a major role. Coins in good condition typically sell for about 5 to 10 cents, while those in fine condition may reach 15 to 25 cents. In very fine condition, the value can go up to around 30 to 40 cents, and extra fine examples might be worth 50 cents to $1. Coins in uncirculated condition, with original red luster and no signs of wear, can bring $2 to $5 or more, depending on their eye appeal and surface quality. Although the 1952 S penny is common, collectors often look for examples with strong color and sharp details, which can make a noticeable difference in value. The San Francisco minted wheat pennies have a certain charm of their own. They are known for their quality striking and rich copper tones, which often give them a distinctive look compared to those minted in Philadelphia or Denver. Your 1952 S penny, despite its wear, represents that same tradition of careful craftsmanship. It's also part of the final years of the wheat penny design, as just a few years later, in 1959, the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the end of the wheat era that had lasted for 50 years. Your coin, therefore, stands as one of the last true Lincoln wheat cents, a symbol of a classic American design that connected generations of coin collectors and everyday citizens alike. Even in good condition, its historical significance makes it worth keeping as part of any collection. It may not hold great monetary value, but it holds great sentimental and cultural worth. A little copper piece that witnessed the passage of time from the early 1950s to the present day. So, in today's market, your 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with S mint mark, in good condition with some scratches, generally holds a value between 5 and 10 cents. While its price may be small, its story is vast, a story of American history, progress, and tradition. Every scratch and mark tells of the countless hands it passed through and the years it survived, remaining a tribute to both the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. Next up, the 1935 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the classic coins from the early 20th century, representing a time when the United States was slowly recovering from the Great Depression. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it does not carry any mint mark beneath the date. Your coin, described as being in very fine condition with some scratches, still holds a strong appeal for collectors due to its age, historical background, and the timeless design that has made the Lincoln cent one of the most collected coins in the world. Turning to the reverse side, you'll see the classic wheat ears design, which gives this coin its nickname, the wheat penny. Two sheaves of wheat curve along the left and right edges of the coin, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. At the top is the traditional motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. On your coin, in very fine condition, the wheat stalks still show strong details, with some of the inner lines visible though slightly worn from circulation. The lettering remains bold and clear, and the overall appearance of the reverse is attractive, despite some light scratches, which are common for a coin that has circulated for nearly a century. In 1935, the Philadelphia Mint produced 388,000 Lincoln wheat pennies, making it one of the more common dates in the series. Because of this large mintage, most 1935 pennies are not considered rare, but their collectible value depends heavily on their condition and color. Your coin, being in very fine condition, falls into a desirable mid-grade category that appeals to many collectors looking for well-preserved examples that still show strong design details. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives it the classic reddish-brown color that deepens with age. Over the years, this copper alloy tends to darken, developing a warm brown or reddish tone, often referred to by collectors as chocolate brown. Your coin's slight scratches are typical signs of wear from decades of use, possibly passing through countless hands in the 1930s and 1940s, a period when a single cent still had real buying power. In the 1930s, a penny could purchase small candies, newspapers, or even contribute to saving for household essentials. Holding this coin is like holding a tiny piece of history, a symbol of American perseverance during the Great Depression, when every coin mattered and nothing went to waste. When it comes to value, the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark remains affordable but collectible. In good condition, it's generally valued around 5 to 10 cents. In fine condition, it can bring 15 to 25 cents. And in very fine condition like yours, the value typically ranges between 30 and 50 cents in today's coin market. Coins that have retained more of their original red luster or are in extra fine or uncirculated condition can be worth $1 to $3 or more, depending on eye appeal and color. Proof-like or fully red specimens graded by professional services can even reach higher prices among collectors seeking premium examples. Even though your 1935 wheat penny is not rare, its very fine condition gives it more appeal than the typical circulated examples. Collectors appreciate coins like this because they display the design's beauty and detail without the heavy wear seen in lower grades. Each mark and scratch on the surface tells a story of its journey through nearly 9 decades of American life. From the days of Roosevelt's New Deal to the modern digital age, the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny also represents one of the later coins before major design and alloy changes began affecting U.S. coinage in the 1940s. Its full copper composition, solid weight, and rich tone remind us of a time when coins were made to last. Tangible, sturdy symbols of value and trust. So, in today's market, your 1935 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in very fine condition with some scratches, is typically valued around $0.30 to $0.50, though a particularly eye-catching example could approach $1. While it may not be worth a fortune, its sentimental and historical worth far outweighs its face value. Every collector knows that coins like this are more than just metal. They're living reminders of America's economic past and cultural endurance. Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark is one of the most recognized and widely collected coins in American history. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark below the date. Your coin, described as being in dirty condition with some scratches, still represents a fascinating piece of history from the World War II era, a time when every cent truly mattered in the United States economy. Flipping to the reverse side, we see the well-known wheat ears design, which gives the Lincoln cent its popular nickname, the wheat penny. 2 stalks of wheat frame the center, where the denomination 1 cent and United States of America are boldly struck. Above them sits the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Even with the coin being dirty and having some scratches, most of the design elements remain identifiable. And the classic wheat pattern still adds beauty and depth to this historic piece. The 1944 Lincoln penny is especially interesting because it was minted right in the middle of World War II. During the war years, copper was a critical metal used for ammunition and military equipment. In 1943, to save copper for the war effort, the U.S. Mint temporarily struck pennies from zinc-coated steel. However, in 1944, the Mint returned to using a copper-based alloy, made mostly from recycled shell casings collected from battlefields. So, your 1944 penny was literally made from materials that once served in the war, a remarkable connection to American history. The composition of the 1944 penny is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a rich reddish-brown tone when new. Over time, this copper tone tends to darken and may develop a natural patina, especially if the coin has been exposed to moisture or dirt, which explains the dirty condition of your coin. Despite that, collectors often appreciate such natural aging because it reflects the coin's journey through history. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 1,400 tin in $35,400,000. Lincoln pennies in 1944, over 1.4 billion coins, making it one of the highest mintages of the entire wheat penny series. Because of this large production, the 1944 penny without a mint mark is not rare, but its condition, color, and any unique features can influence its value. In good condition, a 1944 no mint mark penny typically has a value of around 5 to 10 cents. In fine condition, it might be worth around 15 to 25 cents, while examples in very fine to extremely fine condition can sell for 30 to 75 cents. In uncirculated condition, these coins can bring anywhere from $1 to $3 or more, especially if they retain original red luster. Your coin, described as being dirty with some scratches, would likely fall toward the lower end of this range, around 5 to 15 cents in today's collector market. However, there are rare error varieties from 1944 that are worth far more. For instance, the 1944 steel penny, which was accidentally struck on leftover 1943 steel planchets, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Another rare error is the 1944 D/S, DS, mint mark variety, found on some Denver minted coins, which can also bring significant value. While your coin doesn't appear to be one of these rare varieties, every 1944 penny still carries great historical significance. Even though your 1944 penny may show dirt and scratches, its age and story make it a treasured collectible. Think of it this way. This coin has circulated for over 80 years, possibly passing through countless hands during and after World War II. It may have been used to buy bread, newspapers, or coffee in the 1940s, or perhaps saved by a family as part of their wartime budget. The marks and discoloration on its surface are part of its journey through America's economic and social history. The 1944 wheat penny symbolizes America's resilience and recovery during wartime, and its return to a copper composition reflects the nation's progress after resource shortages. Every detail of this coin, from Lincoln's solemn portrait to the wheat stalks, serves as a reminder of the strength, unity, and endurance that defined that era. Next up, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark is one of the last coins ever made in the beloved wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Your coin, minted in Denver, carries the small D mint mark just below the date on the front side, indicating it came from the Denver Mint. Even though your coin is described as being in fine condition with some scratches, it still represents a charming piece of mid-20th century American coinage and holds great nostalgic and historical value among collectors. The year, 1957, marked one of the final years for the wheat design before the U.S. Mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959 in honor of the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1957 D issue is particularly well known because it was among the most heavily produced of the entire wheat cent series. The Denver Mint struck an astonishing 342,000 pennies that year, over 1 billion coins. Because of this massive mintage, the 1957 D penny is not considered rare, but collectors still value it for its beauty, nostalgia, and connection to one of America's most iconic coin designs. The coin is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that warm reddish-brown tone typical of older pennies. Over time, this copper surface naturally oxidizes, darkening into shades of brown or even deep chocolate color. Your coin's fine condition suggests moderate wear, with most major design elements visible, but some minor loss of sharpness in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalk details. The small scratches and light surface dirt are completely normal for a circulated coin of this age. Even though the 1957 D penny is common, many collectors seek out nice examples to complete their Lincoln wheat cent albums. These coins are especially popular among beginners because they're affordable, yet historically meaningful. The 1957 D marks the end of an era, the last full year before the wheat design disappeared, which gives it sentimental appeal despite its modest value. In terms of today's market value, condition plays the biggest role. In good condition, this coin is typically worth around 3 to 5 cents. In fine condition like yours, the value generally ranges from 5 to 10 cents, depending on eye appeal. Coins in very fine or extra fine condition might sell for 10 to 20 cents, while uncirculated examples, those showing full luster and no wear, can be worth anywhere from 50 cents to $2 or more, especially if they retain strong original red color. Professionally graded MS-65 red examples can sometimes bring prices between $5 and $15 among serious collectors. While your coin has some scratches and wear from circulation, it still holds historical charm. Imagine the journey this penny has taken since leaving the Denver Mint in 1957. Perhaps spent on candy, newspapers, or a soda in the late 1950s, then circulating through the hands of countless Americans as the nation entered the space age. It might have even been saved in someone's jar of wheat pennies during the 1960s and rediscovered decades later. Each mark on the surface represents part of its life story. The 1957 Trotro de Lincoln wheat penny also carries deep symbolic meaning. It's a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who led the nation through the Civil War and preserved the Union. Brenner's design captures Lincoln's strength and humility, qualities that continue to inspire Americans today. Though small in size, the coin serves as a lasting reminder of the country's values of unity, perseverance, and hard work. So, in today's coin market, your 1957 D Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, in fine condition with some scratches, is typically valued between $0.5 and $0.20. While its monetary value is modest, its sentimental and historical significance make it far more valuable to collectors and history lovers. Every wheat penny tells a story, and yours, with its Denver Mint mark and well-traveled surfaces, is a real piece of mid-century American life, still shining with quiet dignity nearly 70 years after it was made.